rainbow. Red and yellow, black and white. We're all precious in God's sight.
And of course, he created the famed Rainbow Coalition. The Reverend Jesse Jackson right here in Louisville from this video from the WHAS 11 archives. There's Maddie Jones, 1984. He came here often. The famous message from Reverend Jackson ending with "Everybody is somebody."
It's a mantra that he carried as a presidential candidate and one that was remembered this morning in Louisville during a special service to remember his life. And this morning, we learned that the Reverend Jackson died at the age of 84. He died in peace, surrounded by family at his home in Chicago. Well, that famous phrase that we just aired for you was one that echoed in Louisville 40 years ago as he was campaigning for president. WHAS 11's Conroy Deluche and photojournalist Jessica Farley show us today how he's being remembered across this city that he visited often.
Tonight, there are two facts we know. One is that I was not elected president. The other more basic fact is that I'm qualified. All right.
2 decades before Barack Obama was elected president, Jesse Jackson made 2 competitive bids for the White House. He campaigned across Kentucky, from Louisville to Harlan.
A man of Reverend Jackson's statue, I think, is important to finding the solutions.
And all of us look just alike in the dark when the lights go out.
He did not win, but the civil rights icon continued visiting Kentucky.
Jesse Jackson would show up wherever there was injustice.
As people protested social injustice and the police shooting of Breonna Taylor in 2020,
No peace!
Jesse Jackson came back to Louisville.
The whole world revolted for fairness and justice.
Dr. Kevin Cosby shared a stage with Jackson during that visit.
I think when I first met him, I was so in awe of him because he's iconic.
All my life you have been faithful.
Hours after Jackson died at 84 years old, the pews were packed inside Central Presbyterian Church. The congregation delivering the same message he did 4 decades ago. Jackson may not be around to deliver another stirring sermon, but his legacy lives on in Louisville, right on the campus of Simmons College at the Center for Racial Justice.
There are 101 HBCUs, but the family selected Louisville's HBCUs to help continue his great work and to maintain his legacy.
Even in death, to continue leaving lessons for future generations.
Our mission says we want them to become agents of change in society. We want them to see him as an example of a person that did it and that they too can do it.
Jackson is gone, but the fight for a more perfect union continues. In Louisville, Conroy Deluche, WHAS 11, on your side.
And I will say I got to cover him a lot here in Louisville. He was mesmerizing. Also went down to cover him in South Carolina at a church there. And making that campaign stop as he was running for president. You know, during his weekly briefing today, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg called Jackson an amazing civil rights leader who gave him great hope for the country.
And tonight, a number of famous political figures are reacting to Reverend Jackson's death, including President Trump. Now, via Truth Social, he wrote in part, "He was a good man with lots of personality, grit, and street smarts. He was very gregarious, someone who truly loved people. Jesse was a force of nature, like few others before him."
Meantime, the Obamas are also reacting to Reverend Jesse Jackson's death today. Today, former President Barack Obama of Chicago issuing a statement saying, for more than 60 years, Reverend Jackson helped lead some of the most significant movements for change in human history. Michelle and I will always be grateful for Jesse's lifetime of service and the friendship our families share.